Good morning. As promised, we are going to talk about some angles today, and we need a little bit of our foldables done. We also need to prove a theorem. So some of you are just getting off our geometric proofs, and you're like, I don't want to prove. It's too hard. I can't do it. But sometimes a proof is just a simple way to explain your thinking. So we're going to prove a theorem today. Now remember back when we spoke about the postulates are things that we accept. They're statements that we accept to be true. And theorems we have to prove before we can use them. And then once we've proven it, it's ours to use. So we're going to prove triangle sum theorem today. So it deals with the angles of the triangle. So I'm just going to take my angles and I'm going to tear them off. And that's what's left of my triangle after I have torn off my angles, and I don't want it. It's not any good to me with this proof. So what you need to do is get a triangle and tear off your angles. So you may need to stop the video so you can go do that. And then when you get back, we'll be discussing how this proof works. So with my angles, I need to prove something about angles. And so I'm sitting here thinking, how can I do that? And I'm start seeing, okay, so I got some flat sides. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can put that together. And then when I do that, I'm like, oh, wait. That kind of looks good, because what I have right here is a straight angle. And I know the measure of a straight angle is 180 degrees. So I can see the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. And so I know the triangle theorem, the triangle sum theorem states that if I sum up the angles of a triangle, then their sum will be 180 degrees. And we've just done that with a quick little proof. And yes, we did a proof. We proved that because we've proven that that's a straight angle and that their sums is 180 degrees. So it is now ours to use. We'll be using that with several other things. And we're going to look at some other pieces today too. We're going to take back to our angles that we did yesterday with our transversals. So we're looking at this, and it says find the value of A, explain your reasoning. And I'm like, we didn't talk about these. So I'm looking at my drawing, and I see these little arrows, so I know that those are my parallel lines. This is my transversal. I'm just going to put that up there. And I'll just name him transversal T. And then I'm like, okay, so these are on the exterior, and they're on the same side of the transversal. So could they possibly be same side exterior? And they are. Okay, same side exterior angles are supplementary. So we're just going to write their supplements. With these definitions, it tells me how to set them up and solve for a missing variable. So it says they're supplements, and supplement says when I have two angles, they will add up to be 180 degrees. So we're just going to solve. So I'm going to subtract 54 from both sides, so I get 2A is equal to 126. Divide by divide by 2, excuse me, and I get A is 63. So I have found it using same side exterior angles. Okay, example 2. Find the values of X and Z. Explain our raising. Okay, so I know that these two, 3X minus 15 and Z plus 25, are supplements because they form a linear pair. And I don't know how to solve for two variables other than a system, and I don't have enough to set up for a system. So I'm not there. So let's take a look here, and then I look, hey, those are same side exterior angles as well. So I know that they're supplementary. So I'm going to say 3x minus 15 plus 105 is equal to 180. Okay, we're going to solve. And so the first thing we're going to do is combine like terms. So we have 3x plus 90 is equal to 180. Subtract 90. So 3x is equal to 90. Divide by 3. And x is equal to 30. We need to go back and substitute in. So we have 3 times 30 minus 15. And do that, so we have 90 minus 15. So this side angle is 75 degrees. Do not play the it looks like game. It looks like that's an obtuse angle. It doesn't matter. They gave me this measure. That is what it is. And so we have to go with what is given, not what it looks like. Okay, so the next thing I know now, I can go back to my original thought that these two are supplements because they form a linear pair. So I'm going to write that down. 3x minus 15 plus z plus 25 is equal to 180. But I know that 3x minus 15, I know this is equal to 75. So we're going to do 75 plus z plus 25 is equal to 180. Using the substitution from what we did just a minute ago. Okay, combine like terms, we get z plus 100 equals 180. Subtract that, and we get z is equal to 80. And you're like, oh, well, that's not right either. So let's put that in there. 80 plus 125 is equal to 105. So this angle is 105 degrees. So if we add those two together and we get 75 degrees plus 105 degrees, we do in fact get 180. So we are true there. Okay, let's go find M and N. Okay, so if I look at this one, they have changed the parallel lines on me. I've got parallel lines right here. I have my transversal right down here. And I'm looking at this again, and so I know those form a linear pair, but I can't solve for two variables without it being a system right now. So I'm looking in these. If I look there, it's on the outside of my parallel lines. It's on the same side, so I'm still back to same side exterior angle. So I know that M plus 114 is equal to 180 degrees. Because they are same side exterior angles and they are supplementary. Okay, so we're going to solve for M. Subtract that 114 from both sides and we get M is 66. So I'm just going to pop that in there. M is 66 degrees. So now we can go find N. N plus 12 plus M is equal to 66. So we have N plus 12 plus M is equal to 180, excuse me. And then we're going to substitute, so M plus 12 plus the 66 degrees is equal to 180. Combine like terms, and we get N plus 78 is equal to 180. Subtract the 78, and N is equal to 102. And we're going to substitute back in. I know it doesn't tell me, but I always like to do the check. So 102 plus 12 is equal to 114. And we know that 114 plus 66 is equal to 180 because we did it down here. Okay, I'm going to stop this, and we will do another one that gets our back 3 examples. See you in a minute.